Diggy is the Natalia. So we're talking about filling in the shoes of the past members of your team. I'm waiting for the shuffle around of the roles. Channeling his inner Baloyski, Kekadut will be playing the Rome Natalia. That is, in the history of MPL PH, a championship-winning Rome Natalia in the hands of Baloyski.
Not just in the Philippines, even in the world stage. People respected Baloyski using this hero. Now it's passed on to ONIC Philippines, Kekadut.
Homie got a win last night against ONIC Indo. He got a one game over them last night. So yeah, good luck, Baloyski over there, Geek Slate.
Yeah, that's one thing. Now on our predictions, it's only me and Leo who voted for our predictions by Smart, and that's ONIC. The rest is Smart Omega for this first match.
Yeah, Smart Omega. Let's see how well Miko and Stone can play with the longer tenured veterans of Smart OMG. But we have seen in the past, Miko, I feel like won't have a problem meshing with his team. It's Stone right now that I'm looking at here with a savior pick as, other than the XP laners, another potential X Factor here for Omega.
X Factor, this is the first impression that we're about to see. This is ONIC and Smart Omega, two teams hungry for an MPL title. Who will get a good head start for the first regular season that they can experience?
This is a vertical start for both of our junglers, and Sui on the purple, and Ryzen going for the orange, and they'll both be making a beeline towards the Litho Wanderer. But I'm seeing a clear advantage for Sensui. I mean, a Fredrin is so hard to beat early to mid.
Yeah, I feel that. And also, the presence of this Natalia against Smart Omega's lineup could get really scary, especially if you don't have vision.
Yeah, when you think about it, Ryota, though, in a difficult position up top against Renjo.
Oh, 1v1, the glue. Is that a clear advantage? Let's see. Forcing out a flicker from Ryota.
That's going to be great for the first turtle fight of the game. No flicker to worry about coming in from the XP laner of ONIC if you're Omega.
There you have it. Early game advantage onto ONIC, but we're feeling some resources depleting in the side of ONIC as well. So in terms of rotation, ONIC had a better coverage, but now on you guys watching on the screen, scan the code to redeem your prize while watching us right now on the English stream. Going back to the game, this is one way to pull out for Omega if they can have an advantage against this Natalia.
Oh, setting up for Sensui, catches Renzio, uses that retribution to slow him down, pushing him back underneath that tier 1 up top.
That's going to be enough time, though, for the retribution to come back when that turtle spawns. Doesn't look like Omega will want to contest that because they're going to be looking at the bottom lane onto Kelra.
Down bottom, Kelra gets a few beads on Nets, and they go ahead. No ult yet on this Brody. Kekadot gonna go down. Ryzen draws first blood. Kelra couldn't finish the job onto Nets, but a win nonetheless for Omega.
Great start there for Omega and Ryzen. Great call. They're going to be trading this turtle unless Omega can actually buy enough time, but no, Ryzen's still staying there. But the reset has been forced by Renjo and Miko. It looks like the Hayabusa of Omega will have enough time to get there and contest it.
Yeah, but see, it seems like Smart Omega right now is complete borderline on this first objective. Who might get it first?
Ryota very low. The turtle at a third of its health. The grab on to Ryota, but it's no dice. Still going over to ONIC, and now Renzo very low. ONIC gets their first kill as well, so the Hedgehogs are back on the board.
Yeah, it really feels like Omega overstayed their welcome there. They knew Ryzen wouldn't be fully contesting it. They just wanted to buy enough time, but then by the time it was already down 40% health, they could have backed. But you saw there, Stome actually threw out that Dawning Light, so it seemed like Omega had the idea of potentially using the Dawning Light as the steal tool for the turtle, but it just didn't work out for them.
Oh, wait.
Look at the damage.
Check it out. Yeah, again, we were saying nowhere on the map is safe for either team. Again, with the way that Omega and ONIC have been playing for the past 3 minutes, trades aren't as simple as they are in other matchups. This is amazing.
Yeah, and as we continue to decipher what's happening for Smart Omega, it's an invisible threat that they can actually look forward to. Where Kekadut will come from, or where will Super Prince or even Sensui come to an advantage they could actually aid a lane.
Interesting item pickup here for Renjo on the glue, already building that Dreadnought armor, so he'll be able to reduce the physical damage of ONIC just a little bit when they fight him.
Speaking of fighting, Omega is not going to risk early game advantage that they know, that they feel ONIC has control over macro play. But one thing that they know is they could either seal one peel or one pickoff, but at a cost.
Yeah, this is an interesting positioning here by Ryota, now roaming out of the XP lane, knowing how fast he can clear it over Renjo. So now his map presence is way above that Ranger has right now because he's a glue.
ONIC is deep. Real world manipulation set in by Super Prince, pushing back the barangay deep behind tier 2 as Ryzen secures his orange buff, and Nets and Senshui just barreling away at that bottom lane tier 1.
Okay, that's the push advantage. Brody almost half HP on the first tier turret. ONIC seems that they want to have a push. Surely they're eating so much time for the items for them to get a go in this turtle, or the second turtle of this game.
Yeah, I can't think right now if this is going to be a big fight, a big contest, or Omega are going to be playing it safe and just doing what the Hayabusa type steal that we know, just throw in a shadow, teleport to it, and then retribution it away, because this ONIC lineup, the game is way too close for Omega to fight them well.
Beautiful pull though by Renzio, the showstopper, setting it up for Ryzen, and they're going to go in. Sensui still takes it. Extra shields for ONIC, and they don't want to force the issue. Ryzen uses that shadow, just playing with fire, and now down bottom, Kelra survives, but just barely. Donning Light to make sure no further damage is done to Omega. Clear push down bottom by Kekedot.
We talk about slow and methodical. It's actually ONIC playing that game right now around their roamer and mid duo. But really, it is Kekedot and the vision that he's providing that is great for ONIC. The Filipino Savage Killer on your screen right now holds the most Savage in MPL history, tied with 2.
Man, Kelra came a long way in achieving that title.
As much as I love myself some Dwayne Grant Pilas, I don't think the Savage is going to be showing himself in this game very soon. Like, wait, did he? No, he didn't. All right. Never mind. He's done that before. He's stolen a purple buff with the ult.
Yeah.
But, as I was saying, with the way the game looks like now, 5 minutes in, it's a while until that Moskov on Kelra is going to be online. It's going to be a while till he starts hurting.
Yeah, it's the late game that Omega would actually answer against ONIC. Now they have early game advantage from early to mid. They can actually have a pull or a push, but onto the turret!
Lethal intent. They go in deep, but the punish by Ryzen, not to be trifled with. Sensui couldn't do much. He was so focused on sealing away the orange, so I'd say that was worth it. Now Renzio stopping any further advantage from ONIC. And now Renzio very low. Ooh, those glulings saving it, but just barely. Just barely.
Just an inch. Just an inch of health
Can't
left
stop
there.
the showstopper.
No. Just how you calculate and sustain that damage. He needs to get away for that circumferential attack of the ultimate of the Brody.
That's a Dreadnought armor doing work.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure Renjo's super glad now that he built that early on. And we have to talk about Super Fritz at this moment because Eve, Farsa, those high poke damage mages were his bread and butter in MPL Philippines Season 10. Now in his first game in Season 11, this Eve, so far, not a lot of kills in this game, but you're seeing how Omega are respecting the positioning against that Eve. It's just in that moment, Stone was caught out just 3 boxes in the star field of the Eve, and that was more than enough time for Super Fritz to finish the job.
I think that really would be scary onto the mid game because if AoE is concerned, there's punish, ultimate from Ryota, we have ultimate from Nets. This could tell Omega that you need to tighten up your defenses, especially Renjo could have a good pickup on isolating the damage dealers of ONIC, who's now on a almost 2K goal advantage.
And that's what makes this game all the more something to watch out for, even as we hit the 12, 15-minute mark, 16-minute mark. We can expect Kelra and Stone to be online as well. That Savior and that Moskov. So again, global presence from Omega. That's what they're lacking now. But when the cooldowns do go down, then yeah. Quick take though by ONIC. They've been owning these major objectives so far. 7 minutes in.
Yep, taking it without a problem as expected. So far, Ryzen, he does have the 2 kills, but ONIC are playing well enough that they are somewhat minimizing the potential effect of a Hayabusa early on.
Yeah, that would be really scary if they unleash that. As keys to victory is concerned, it's all about the first impression, but now they're switching up lanes. Terizla is now down bottom. Ryota is looking for a push up against the second turret of Omega.
Yeah, there was a slight moment there. Oh, wait, hold that thought, though, Renjo. But with Ryzen nearby, it seems like ONIC, they should be safe. There was a small moment where it was actually Ryota in the lead in terms of map presence. But there was one thing that Renjo did, which was cut 1 minion wave, which balanced it a little bit. So it's a bit surprising as to how Ryota was able to come back from that small deficit, actually. So great play by Ryota to balance it out.
Oh, feathered airstrike used early, and now Super Prince with the tippy tip of the RWM takes down the showstopper. Second death on the glue here. 9 minutes in. Now even the purple is in trouble. Make that Miko going down first. But Ryzen does get his buff. Let's see if they can capitalize. There goes the Oogie shadow kill. They're trading damage around. No one's going to go down from ONIC. but Omega will stop the carnage. They are going to lose a turret up top, though. Still not a good look. 3K head on a PH.
Yeah, slow and methodical around Miko and Stone was the key to victory for Omega. At some point, they're going to have to up the pace, but we've seen Omega try it. It's just that ONIC have gotten into position just in time before Omega.
Yeah, positioning, global presence, it needs to be online. Could be the Barangay or Omega are looking for or buying in some space right now for Renzi or even Ryzen, because he can't even steal something from ONIC, knowing that Kekadut's press could be all over the map.
And that's what's interesting about the way Kekadut has been playing. About 10 minutes in, right? Just rough estimate. He spent maybe a total of 1 minute in the opponent's jungle. He really isn't as invasive as a Natalia could be. He's more of a, border control. Like, he's making sure that Omega don't cross the border, don't cross the threshold of this river. As now the Lord, very low. ONIC making quick work of it. No contest at all. One Hail Mary, though. Omega was hoping. Stone misses the dawning light.
Oh, if that landed, would have been one of the best plays of the earlier part of our season, but it just didn't. So Omega traded it out with a tower. The most that they could get in this situation. Now Omega will be playing defensive. The middle tower is what Omega will look to hold, but ONIC are dead set into taking that down right away.
Yeah, they're hungry for this first tier turret of Omega. They want to open the jungle camp right now, but they're still holding it through. As border protection goes, we're not seeing any Ryzen engagement onto the side of the, or even the backlines of ONIC.
Is it just me or deja vu? Yesterday we had a Hayabusa with the same problem. He was doing okay, was farming all right, but just couldn't get the kills.
Yeah, that's the problem for a lot of Hayabusa plays. When a team knows how to go up against it, it will have a hard time being a presence in the mid game when teams start jumbling up together, rotating in the map together. Almost a 2,000 gold lead though over the marksman of ONIC.
Oh, he tried to juke him through. Maximum range, quad shadow, and Uki shadow kill to try and survive, but in the middle of 5 members of ONIC, not in my house, says Super Prince, and that's a kill onto Ryzen.
We were just talking about it. We were just talking about it.
Man, maximum range, minimum wage. Not being able to find the bank there for the Hayabusa.
Now this calls for a push for ONIC. Philippines being trapped in the Mystic Field. That's a flicker being used by Nets, but that's the problem now. Defenses, Miko needs to get in the front line. Renjo and Miko could be the key here for ONIC's strong damage.
Yeah, but the fact that the lead is at this point right now for ONIC, we saw Miko just built a Radiant Armor to temper the damage coming out of the Eve, but most of the damage coming on the side of ONIC is actually physical. Maybe that's why Renjo built that Dreadnought Armor early on. Maybe it's an anti-cuirass already at this point because they knew they might end up in this situation. So they have the defensive items to buy just a little bit of time, but it's still a very small window for Omega to turn things around in team fights because ONIC are playing such a tight formation. Again, respecting what the Hayabusa of Ryzen can do.
Yeah. Coordination, information is all in check for ONIC Philippines right now. They could actually push, they could actually make things or appeal someone out from Omega, but looking onto these items, it's always now onto the marksman has the highest gold, completing almost 5 items present.
Dear Lord, about 2K ahead.
That hurts.
Nets is 2K ahead of Kelra. So I was just about to say, right, even if Omega is down here, you can say that Kelra can buy it back for them, but when and how?
Yeah, it's also interesting how Super Prince built this Eve. Instead of opting for damage, he went for the Warrior Boots and then also at the same time built a Brute Force Breastplate. That's why the damage of the Hayabusa and the other physical damage dealers of Omega is being minimized and why it feels like it's so dang hard to take this Eve down.
Yeah, it's damage deflection that ONIC is holding. Now they really want to let Omega be and take the bait while they're taking this first Lord.
No, it's a second Lord, Francis.
Second Lord, rather.
And it's luminous. So wherever it goes, it's going to break into a turret. So I'm seeing possibly, if ONIC does this well, one inhibitor. One inhibitor is going to go. And Omega, they really need to ramp it up. I'm not sure where and whoa! I was just about to say, what was Ryzen doing there?
Another one bites the dust.
Another one being too deep for Omega. If that was for Vision, that wasn't worth it.
Yeah, not worth it at all. Although it looks like Ryzen will be able to return in time, but you just gave ONIC a little bit more gold. Not the fault of Ryzen, it just seems like it was more horrible timing
Yep.
that the universe said, okay, let's put some ONIC members here as well at the same time as Ryzen.
Now it looks like ONIC wants to give it a push against Smart Omega, who could actually make a pull or could make a setup. I'm looking for something here. Either Miko and Renjo, but how can he even get across Ryota or even Nets?
Oh, look at Ryota.
Oh, real world manipulation set in by Super Prince, and a pull by Miko, but Ryota gets out of there. A split already set in by Renzio. Gets a grab on the Prince, donning light. Nets gets a push in. That's 2 inhibitors broken down. Renzio being brought to La La Land. Good night, showstopper. Sensui gets the kill. Now it's a 4v5. Oh, they're not done. Oh, Kelra! Ryota taken down. Kelra very low kick. It gets a kill. Wipes it in. Miko falls, and it was all that. Omega down to 2 members. Real world manipulation. Storm trapped in the bottom into the end of the RWM, and that's it. ONIC takes game 1.
That's first impression.